Hey everyone, Motumbo here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are playing some more Historic here on Magic Arena. And as always, I am super excited to bring to y'all this sweet deck that we put together on stream, and we are going to hop right into it, and we are playing Calendar Control. So if you are not familiar with this new card from the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, the Millennium Calendar, well, you're about to be. So this is a 1-mana artifact that says whenever you tap one or more permanents whenever you untap one or more permanents during your untap step, put that many time counters on the Millennium Calendar. For 2 mana, you can tap it to double the amount of time counters on it, but then it says when there are 1,000 or more time counters on the Millennium Calendar, sacrifice it, and each opponent loses 1,000 life. So yes, so this is one of those cards where you are trying your best to get as many counters on it as possible, and yes, you need 1,000 counters on this in order for you to win, and that is a lot. But I do want to let you know that doubling it, just what is it? I think you start with one if you play it on turn one because you untap one thing, but all you really need is 2 on it, and then you double it. I don't remember what the math is. It's either 8 or 9 times, and that gets you over 1,000. But regardless, what we're going to do is we're going to control the game until we could potentially double this enough times to win and just one-shot our opponent for 1,000. So this is a mono white control shell with, again, a ton of cards that are just going to prevent the opponents from doing anything or interacting with our board. So I do want to, this is mono white / artifact. So we do have a little help from Karn. We'll get to Karn here in a second. But we have Authority of the Consoles to prevent haste creatures from getting us. We have 3 copies of Fragment Reality. This is, arguably the best 1 white mana removal spell that's ever been printed. It removes, you get 3 different options: artifact, creatures, or enchantments. Just exile, really good. At the time of that, right? Fateful Absence. In this deck, I wanted to just let our opponent draw a card as opposed to letting them map twice with the new version of Fateful Absence. But this is what we're playing. We're playing 4 copies of Reprieve because, again, we're controlling. We want a little bit of a counter spell, so to speak. So this is going to help us out. Mind Stones are great because this is going to help ramp us into our more expensive cards. We have 3 copies of Teferi's Protection. Card is going to be one of the key cards in this deck to help the Millennium Calendar survive, as well as you not lose the game. Because again, for 3 mana, it's an instant until your next turn. Your life total can't change, and you gain protection from everything, but all of your permanents you control phase out. So we're gonna have this going. It's gonna have dozens upon or even hundreds of counters on it, and they're probably going to try to kill it, or they're going to try to swing into you for lethal, and we're going to cast Teferi's Protection, and we're just going to kind of step away momentarily. They're not going to be able to remove the Millennium Calendar while the protection ability is on the stack from this, and we're not going to be able to essentially lose the game from damage or anything along those lines. So yeah, really, really great card. We have 2 copies of Settle the Wreckage, again, to if we don't have a Wrath of God, we can wipe their board on their turn. We have 2 copies of Wandering Emperor. This is for the same reason, right? We can flash this in during our opponent's turn, remove one of their big attackers, or maybe even their only attacker, to help us stabilize, or just throw a blocker down. There's, again, multiple things you can do with this. We have 2 copies of the One Ring main deck because, again, the protection ability. This card is just ridiculous. It deserves, not to be on Arena or in Magic in general, but we're going to take advantage of it. Whenever we cast this, when it comes into play, it protects us from everything for a turn, and then we get to draw a whole bunch of cards. So again, really, really great. And then last but not least, we have Paradox Engine, 2 copies of it. I want to actually explain something. This does not necessarily combo in the sense that you would think with Millennium Calendar, because Millennium Calendar does say whenever you untap one or more permanents during your untap step. So Paradox Engine is not going to add counters every time we untap when we're casting spells. However, Paradox Engine allows us and gives us the ability to, when we cast a spell, it's going to untap the Millennium Calendar to allow us to tap it again to double the amount of counters. So that's why we're trying out Paradox Engine in this deck. You're gonna see that it actually is pretty decent card in this deck. In the future, though, I will tell you right now, I probably go down to 1 main and then just leave the one on the sideboard. But again, this helps us win. Now, last but not least, we have 3 copies of Karn. I didn't want to play the full 4 because we were trying to fit cards everywhere else. But again, 3 copies is enough. This essentially adds 3 copies of all of our artifacts that we're playing mostly into our deck. Because again, Karn lets us pull an artifact from our sideboard. And it can, you know, shut down our opponent's artifacts in general. So this is a really powerful card. Again, this is another card I'm not a huge fan of playing against. But again, it's really powerful when it's in play for you. The sideboard does need a little work. But overall, it has a lot of our key pieces in it. So we have 1 copy of Manifold Key. Manifold Key, again, is another way to untap an artifact. So this will allow us to untap Millennium Calendar. We have Pithing Needle in order to turn off something annoying from our opponent's end. We have another copy of Millennium Calendar in case we don't draw the 2 that are in our deck, or they happen to get rid of it. We have Liquid Metal Coating in our sideboard as well, because Liquid Metal Coating can turn our opponent's lands into artifacts, and then we can kill those artifacts with Karn's +1 ability of turning a non-creature artifact into an artifact creature with power toughness equal to its mana value, which is 0 with land. We have another copy of the One Ring. We have 1 copy of the Paradox Engine, and then we have 1 copy of God Pharaoh Statue, because I feel like every sideboard plays this in the sideboard. It's a great card. You know, it really helps, you know, slow your opponent down a whole lot. But again, we might need some artifact disruption, maybe like either Grafdigger's Cage or Tormod's Crypt, something along those lines, maybe in the future instead. But other than that, this is the deck. This is Calendar Control. You're gonna see some cool things. You're gonna see some crazy things happen. And again, this deck's great. And we'll go over everything at the end in the wrap up. But until then, let's hop into the games. And we'll see you all at the wrap up. Cryptomeria 3. There were 2 other Cryptomerias before you. All right. Let's go. Black, blue, Thoughtseize. Oh, interesting. Fragment Reality. What are they playing that they're worried about us fragmenting? I mean, I'm just going to try to combo them right now. Not combo, but try to lock them down. Yeah, that's fine. So we have another one, right? Maelstrom Pulse, though. What a card. So they don't know about this other Karn, but, I mean, we're just going to try to slam it, right? I hit this Triome. I mean, that's a little scary, but like, what do they get though? Like, if they get something that turns all of their land into, like, yeah, like the World Tree, we just get rid of it. I mean, they know we have this Settle, right? So I mean, they could Thoughtseize the Settle out of our hand. Alright, you can have another land. And if you counter this, it's fine also. Sure. So what did we put in the sideboard? I mean, this just, I mean, ends them, right? If they can't get rid of Karn. Hey, Uniderp. No, we didn't crash. We had somebody come and install a new doorbell. I mean, this is fine, right? Like, I like how they're tapping like they're going to actually do something. Oh, they did something. Okay. All right, Karn down, Karn down. Reprieve.
Remember your training.
And I think we're just going to end the game by making 1/1s. I mean, they definitely have something, right? Let's just go ahead and make a 1/1 or a 2/2. I mean,
Let your blade do the talking.
maybe I should have. Actually, you know what? I should have just reprieved the One Ring and then recast it. That would have actually been better than not giving that back, even though they conceded, right? But yeah. Opponent goes first. Temple Garden, Giver of Runes. Okay. So it's a creature deck. That's fine. We can kill this Giver of Runes if we need to. Sure. Oh, that's just art for Tyvar. I didn't even realize that was Tyvar. Kind of dumb. I mean, I could let this resolve. They activate it, and then I just pop it off, right?
Today we carve our deeds into history. It's not a victory without you.
That cost 1, right? It's fine because we have authority of the console, so it's not really going to do anything. That's pretty good. I mean, this deck has to be playing Collected Companies, right? Court of Calling for 2. I was thinking Cord now, right? But like, what does it do? Because right, we're gonna gain so much life off of this. Attacking is pointless. This is actually bad for them. Wrath was pretty nice. Wrath actually gains us 2 life here. I guess we also lose a little bit of life, but... Cord for 2. Okay. Just get another Samwise. Just double Wrath? Are you kidding me? It's really cool because with the authorities of the consoles in play, right, even if they were to Collected Company, before things start happening, since everything comes into play tapped, I can Wandering Emperor and kill like whatever crazy trick that they're about to pull off. I mean, they might have it right here, but... I definitely need to get rid of the counters on this thing. I mean, we might lose to the One Ring. If we don't draw a Karn or another One Ring in this game, and that's very feasible, right? With 33 cards left in our deck. Oh, opponents. It's tough for them too, right? Because they don't want to play creatures, because every creature they put into play gives us 2 life. But at the same time, I think they should have played it out just to see what would happen with the One Ring. Hey, Cozy Porcupine, welcome to chat. And you like Cruelty Gigs? Yeah. We go first. All right. Give me that life. This is when it dies, right? Okay. So I get exile it and they get nothing. But they have the Phyrexian Tower. Okay. Okay. No, you can't wait for the 12th. What happens on the 12th? I mean, I don't really want you drawing extra cards. Like, you can have a creature. Okay. Sure thing. You got it. Give him the business. Maybe should have sacked your Eye Twitch, but I mean, we're here to do one thing and one thing only, right? All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's try to do it. Yeah, I was about to say, they should animate the Hive of the Eye Tyrant and go after Karn. Sure thing. So is that in December 12th they're telling us that? It definitely would have been a lot better if it counted all of your untaps and not just your untap step. Inscription of Ruin. That's a card. Duress. Well... I'm out of cards. All right, I'm just gonna start playing stuff. I do have to worry about these hives. So I'm going to draw in case I draw a Wandering Emperor here. Alright, we definitely did not draw a Wandering Emperor. Maybe this will eat a hand disruption card out of there. Oh, they're going hard. Okay. Ah, what a beautiful draw. Okay. You hope they don't go above 1,000 life. I also hope our opponent doesn't go above 1,000 life for multiple reasons. Okay. You definitely want to draft a card out of this Cursed Witches spellbook. So we're going to... that's fine. That's not fine. I mean, I've got to try to hit here. Okay. I get to sack my ring next turn, so I'm kind of okay with this, but... maybe I should have just sacked my ring anyway. Wish I would not have played that land out. Yeah, if they attack with both of these, we lose. Okay. All right, what's in our sideboard? Could go for another ring. I think getting the other ring actually gets us there. Right? Unless they make us lose life with another Wrinkles prank. So we got 10 land, right? Oh, I mean, we just win. Like, we're just gonna win. Opponent, please let this happen. Pew pew! Let's go! Oh, we did it! We did it! Just a casual minus 988. Oh, opponent. We did it. I'm warning you, opponent. We just dealt 1,000 damage to our last opponent. It's a little unfortunate that we're playing against this deck specifically. We definitely don't want to Fragment Reality our opponent. Yep. It's a legend, right? So the reason I did that was because in case we get to a Wrath, then they're not going to be able to get another one on board. Right, that's fine. I don't want you drawing any extra cards there. I mean, we're still getting attacked by that, but we do gain a little bit of life, right? So... it is going to stem the bleeding a little bit. Okay, well. 9, so we're taking 8, so... I think I have to draw here. Right? Because, like, Karn... I mean, we could get a 1 ring, but we can't cast it, so I have to draw and hope to hit a Wrath or some kind of removal spell. Oh, there we go. What did they have? Oh, I almost slammed down Karn like it was nothing. Whew! All right. Good game. Swedish meatball. Maybe this is Wizards without Gigantha. It is, in fact, not that. Okay. No thanks. It has begun. Opponent! All I did was play a couple of artifacts. Oh. Oh. Millennium Calendar too strong. Too strong. All right. Toxic. Oh, I need a land. I need a land. I need a land real quick. Real quick. All right, we did it. Double strike. We're at 5. I mean, goodbye to all of your creatures. Hello to all of your lands.
You will not threaten this world.
Oh, I'm not trying to hit these cards specifically. Oh, land, just what we needed. So, I think... It's a little risky, but we're going to do it. Want to protect Karn. Okay, well, that that didn't work out. But we tried, right? We 100% tried. Oh, okay. Okay, that's what we were looking for. So I'm thinking about using Karn to go get the Pithing Needle and naming their really bad equipment that they have in play. Prosthetic injector. Does this works, right? Do I take this? I think I do. And we get to Wrath here, which is fine. I mean, I really wish that we were drawing lands. Being at 20 against this deck is kind of irrelevant, being we're essentially at 4 life because we have 6 poison counters. Okay. It's not what I meant to click. Okay. I mean, we're close, right? We're about to essentially go to 200. They actually put the land on top. I feel like that's a mistake. So it's okay to put make the pithing needle creature here because the Karn turns off the equipments anyway. So, oh, opponent, we were about to give you the business. Oh, I mean, we were gonna get to 1,000. This is a hand. Holy moly, this is not a keeper. I'm telling you, every time you mulligan a card to the bottom, you just draw another copy of it. You reprieving. Ha ha ha. Yeah, we're about to give him 1,000,000 mana, so I'd like to draw a land here. Okay. Get our ring online, right? Like I don't care about the protection here because we have 2 settles. Now we can play a land, safely draw a card, and then not worry about the swing back. So we don't take damage upon it. I think I'd really like to see them play something that taps for mana. And then I wonder if I'm gonna Teferi's Protection. I'll draw a card. Or draw 2 cards. Calendar? Yeah, just activate your Shepherd and then swing in for lethal. Right, so like right now they think like, oh, okay, well they're just gonna Teferi's Protection a whole bunch of times in a row. Right? Like, they're not thinking Settle right now. They're thinking Teferi's Protection. Now they have a lot of land in play and no creatures. Wrath? Wrath's pretty good. Gonna draw a whole bunch of cards. They just have a whole bunch of those in their hand? Okay. Yeah, I mean, the Visionaries really help them refill their hands. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would put me to 6, and I would take 3. I don't think I can risk it, so I'm just going to give them some more land. We get to start our year on 11. It's a year 11 in this Magic world right now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 5. I think we just wrap. Oh, this card was actually ridiculous to draw. Yeah, Authority of the Consuls was such a good draw here on an empty board. Just because now we don't have to worry about getting Craterhoof Behemoth. And we played... So I played the Paradox Engine last because I didn't want to untap my Mind Stones here. Because I just want all the counters. But I think we're getting the Salty Rope from our opponent. It's crazy how many people do this. Like, just concede. I mean, I settled twice, so... I mean, to be fair, they have 19 land in play, right? I should just build like a Gonti Ephemerate deck. So... How much mana do I have? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I can double... Go down to 9. Play Karn. Oh, I messed up. Oh, I was supposed to tap all my Mind Stones first. Game.
I will not stop.
Oh, yeah. Well, Nope, they came back and they conceded. So good on you. Opponent goes first. Johnny's welcome? Okay. What does this do? Just training? Okay. I'd rather deal with a 1-2 that maybe gets a little bit bigger than... No, let's just have you cast that again. All right, let me read this again. Whenever one or more creatures with mana value 3 or less enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. You can cast that again. I bet they weren't expecting that to actually resolve. Do I kill this? Nothing will come into play. There's a lot of stuff happening, and I do not like it. I think it's already a 6-6. Oh, well, thank you, opponent, for not attacking. I'm going to hover over here, Heliod, like I don't know what it does. Hover over this like I don't know what it does. It's indestructible. Okay. I think again I'm gonna Teferi's Protection. Right. I don't want them to. I want them to think about Teferi's Protection in the front of their head over the other card. Like over Settle the Wreckage. I wonder if I Wrath here. 1, 2, 3. No. Right? Because if they think that we're just going to Teferi's Protection every turn, then they're going to be more inclined just to hit attack with everything, right? Oh, they have their own authority, the consoles. All right, you talked me into it. Settle the Wreckage. 1, 2. So if I Wrath, it only takes one thing to turn Heliod back on, so I think this is okay. Because I really just want to get rid of Heliod. So... Please cast. Whatever it is, please cast it. Oh, I can't because of the ring. Ooh, okay. Yep, no ring for you. They didn't attack. I do need to reset here, though, so... So I could, maybe liquid metal coating was not the grab. Yeah, I think I've misplayed this game. I mean, you can 100% have this. Yep, definitely knew that was happening. All right, so what's the best course of action here? I do think we wrath. I wish we had some artifact mana though. Okay. All right, that's a little ridiculous. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and draw here. Ooh, another Karn? All right, Paradox Engine. Can I get Manifold Key, maybe? Pithing Needle? Name Hopeful Initiate? Oh, well, we messed up. And then we are going to say go. Yep. Oh, I got full turns on. Full control. Yep, that's fine. We get Karn back out next turn. Oh, another Heliod. All right, so we are going to tap everything. I'm going to draw 2. Wrath is good. I'm going to double this. Sure thing. I'm going to make that an artifact. Doesn't matter. Like, all right, so can we win? 10, 11, 12. So we're going to exactly 100. Manifold key. All right, I'm thinking. So 2, 10, 11, 12, 13. 2, 4, 8. I think we can win next turn.
Until you have lived as a statue, do not talk to me of vengeance. True goodness can never be corrupted.
And I know I could have been doing all this crazy stuff. Oh man, so do I want to keep the one that has a lot? I think I do. And then do I just Wrath here? Wrath, they only have this in play. And they just kill Karn immediately, though. So I don't think Wrathing actually does anything. So... Okay. Yep. That's the only thing I didn't want to do was have them... I didn't want to turn the ring back on. All right, well, we are going to double this. I mean, this is a crazy game. I got to make sure to click the one that has 400 counters on it, right? Wow. This has been a crazy game. There's been a million misplays, I feel like, on both sides. So I'm going to go into full control here. We're going to pew pew. Is it happening? Boom! 1,000. All right, nice. A million misplays. I can't wait to hear about them. Oh man, can't wait to hear about them. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the wrap up. And you saw some sweet games, at least in my opinion. They were great games. Now, overall, we actually did get to, hit that 1,000 counter mark twice. Our opponents did concede in other forms or fashion based off what we had in play. Sometimes they knew the Millennium Calendar was going to actually tick up to 1,000, so they conceded. And other times they just weren't having it in the form of the control that we're playing. And of course, we have those pesky games where you play something on turn 1 or turn 2 and your opponent concedes because you've you've effectively stifled what they're trying to do. So, but yeah, again, this is another 61 card special that I play. Again, I typically try to always play 61 cards in decks. I don't think the math between 60 and 61 is that far off. Just let you play one extra card. It's not a big deal. Now, I do want to reiterate, right? I do think I would change a few things in the deck. I do think Fateful Absence, there's another card that is exactly the same thing. It kills a whole bunch of other stuff as well. It doesn't just focus on creatures or planeswalkers. It actually, I think, hits enchantments maybe, or even artifacts as well. But it allows your opponent to put 2 map tokens into play. I think I would replace those, in substitution of the Fateful Absences. I would also cut down 1 Paradox Engine from the main deck. I do feel like in not just necessarily the games that you guys were able to watch, but games where I played off camera, I felt like I drew both copies of this pretty often. For, statistically, that's probably not what's supposed to be happening, but it did happen enough to where I was like, oh, you know what? Let's cut one of these, just leave 1 and 1, and I think that would be great. The lands I think are good. The Cave of the Frost the Cave of the Frost Dragon I felt was kind of a non-existent card, but it did feel good knowing the few times I had it in play that if I had to lean on it, I probably could have leaned on it. But only having one of these in the deck, it's kind of hit or miss, right? The Castle Ardenvale is probably a lot more reliant So I would either just put in one more Castle Ardenvale, or maybe I would just replace the Cave of the Frost Dragon for maybe a Mirix, something along those lines, something that just makes repetitive tokens other than just making 1/3/4 creature. So other than that, I mean, this deck is sweet. You could still move other cards around. Maybe you want to play more Settles or less Settles or more versions of Wrath, or maybe you want to play Farewell. But again, you have to really be careful with Farewell because you're never really wanting to get rid of artifacts when you're actually playing Millennium Calendar. So really, really be careful. You'd really have to, if you were going to play Farewell and worry about playing against another artifact deck, you'd really have to try to do something, I think, along the lines of having 9 mana, casting Farewell, holding full control, and then in response cast Teferi's Protection. But then again, right, you're utilizing 2 things, which you may not be wanting to do. So yeah, other than that, I think the deck is actually really, really great. Just the control aspect is really powerful in itself. So do with it what you will. Again, this deck is very, very expensive. Keep that in mind when you are trying to build it. There are a ton of mythics in this. There's a ton of rares, and not that many commons or uncommons, if any, other than maybe Mindstones and Reprieves. So yeah, do with that as you will, and build at your own risk, as I always say. But this deck's awesome. I love it. I really hope you all enjoyed Calendar Control. Again, if you enjoy the deck, the video, the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the cool links down below. Join the Discord. And then, as always, hop on over to Twitch, twitch.tv/BAMotumbo. You, too, could be a part of a video in the future. Bring your decks, your deck ideas, your build-around cards, and maybe we'll turn that into a video for you. And with that being said, everyone, please stay safe, and we'll see you next time.